So hey guys, I'm at Grace International right now and I'm doing a whole total installation of everything right here at Grace International. One of them includes changing these JBL speakers. These JBL speakers have been here for about uh, 10 years, and today we're going to be installing the LS series from QSC, which is, I believe, I don't know if it's a 108 or the 112. I believe it's a 112. What we're going to be doing right here is putting two of these on each array. But first, we're going to go into the ceiling. We're going to see if we have beams that can align them on a 4x4 array. But right here, this church actually has a 1x4 array, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use these same points for the 4x4 array. I don't know yet, but depends on when I go into the ceiling that I'm going to see. Now you can see how large the church is. The church is on this kind of, so that's why this 4x4 array may work perfectly for this kind of scenario. I do not know yet, but I'm still working on that. Sorry, this is the first time I'm doing this kind of video at the same time talking a moving video. Yes, you can see my face right now, but you are definitely gonna see my face. So I just wanted to see what it looks like. That is why I believe the 4x4 array was done. But if I'm gonna a 2x4 or 1x4 array, sorry, was done. But if I'm gonna do a 2x4, which is like two speakers on each of these four arrays, you could see from here, it works well. But if I'm gonna do a 4x4, four speakers on an array, it means I'll have to create a hole right here. But I do not know. I don't have much time. Another thing I'm gonna do is, these are the drums. Change all these drum mics. As you can see, that's one of the work I'm gonna do. Upgrade them. Another thing I'm gonna do is this rack. Remove this rack, is old and it's wobbly. Change all this rack. Install drum cameras. Install a camera right here for the musicians. Install a PTZ all the way there at the back, and install video switches. Now, as I do this work, I'll take you guys along. This work is probably going to take me a week because, of course, I have my regular job, and that's definitely going to take me away. But another thing they had here from earlier is had these speakers up here. But I do not see a need for these speakers because these speakers are EQ'd totally differently and are totally different from these JBL speakers at the front. So I'm going to be taking these away and calculating the splay to make sure that the 2x4 arrays I'm going to be installing can reach all the way to the back, which I believe is going to be possible. People are going to be working with me today. My brother right here, Prince, like a fine freshman. He's going to be working with me today. And in the coming weeks, I want to find like the main guy. So this is the board. I'm going to also be changing this board. This board is going out for repairs due to, of course, fader issues. This is the Allen&Heath Avantis. I'm going to be changing it to the Allen&Heath Solo for now, that while this board is out for repairs. And the Solo is going to be used for the outdoor events also. So, you know what? A lot of setup already. Let me find the main guy. He's hiding somewhere. And this is him right here. See, this is the main guy. This is Sid. It's the main guy who I have suffered all through this project. His name is Sydney. He's one of the best tech guys out there. The best tech guy out there. Trust me, do not play with him. He's the one that set up all of this. You see this room right here? One of the best tech rooms I've actually arranged tech rooms I've seen in churches. It's him. So please, if you need his contact, go through me. I'm his manager, by the way. Okay, so I will give you guys as we go along with this project. So this is the distance, and I think a good split distance can actually cover this. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. So two LA112s on each side with a KS118. Unfortunately, the LS118 that's supposed to be out for months now, nobody can actually get a hold of the LS118. So for now, we're using the KS118. The difference between the KS118 and the LS118 is just the additional issues that the LS comes with. But of course, the LA112 is completely different from the QSC K series, and that's why I went with the LA112. And also because of the width of this auditorium, instead of going with the LA108, I'm going with the LA112. So I'm doing a 2x4 array. If the beams inside allow, I can do a 4x4 array, but I may just stick with the 2x2 array. So you have 2x4 array, all LA112s coupled with the KS118 and any other minor changes that you're gonna see. Yeah, I really love this mixer. I love everything about this Avantis. I wish you could get a D-Live, but yeah, anyway, cut your coat. So yeah, this is actually a very wonderful mixer, and at this price point, I do not think there's anything that rivals it. So just this particular fader. So we got here fader 3, and this fader right here, you could see that they do not follow. So it first started with this fader. Now it has included this fader, so it needs to go out for repairs as soon as possible. On this other side, I do not think there is any fader bank issue so far, just on the side, and we can have that happen. Sometimes I'm working on a particular channel and there's, you see, and then I need to raise it up, it doesn't follow. So that's why the little daddy, I call this the big daddy, and this the little daddy. This is going to be replacing it in the meanwhile. And also when this comes back, while this goes out for servicing and for repairs, when this comes back, this is just going to be solely for their outdoor events. Or I may even probably use this for broadcast mix. You never know. There are many things I can do with this. Very, very wonderful recommendation from Allen&Heath, and very wonderful product that they brought, this very compact version. I think this also has the deep plugins. So yes, I use the deep plugins here. So I have the deep plugins. I'm just going to be transferring the Dante card from this into this. Okay, I'm so back. I don't know if I missed anything, but I was just trying to show you guys. So for the conga drums, we actually use these claws. I've forgotten this claw clamp, something like that. I've forgotten the name of them. And I'm using these Beta 57A microphones. This sound really good. I think this is really, really simple for the Congo mics. Just a little bit of cleanup. Yes, I know the place is really, really dirty. Just a little bit of cleanup. Added a DX168 right here to the GX4816 that we had. So this was the GX4816 right here. We just added the DX168 because I kind of needed more inputs. Everything almost stayed the same. We use Sennheisers in this house of worship. Everything pretty much stayed the same. And then for the musicians, before they had the Allen&Heath ME500. It's very frustrating because we only have 16 inputs. Right now, I changed these to the Allen&Heath ME1. So I have 40 input. I set it up in groups. You could see here my number 1 is my host. Sorry for the flickering. You have the leads, BJVs, keys, bass, guitar, the tracks, drums, talkback, and crowd. That's what I have it as set up right now. In each of the groups, the musicians have the ability to actually change it. The musicians have the ability to change what is in each group. So I have set it right now for all musicians as the same kind of volume movement. But if we click it, you see we have the pastor handheld headset, the pastor handheld, and the Scott handheld, which is one of the ministers in this church. Now the issue, I want it like this because before they would say, oh, sometimes we need to hear the pastors, you understand? So that's why I set it up like this. I have them have the host. They can come here and say, do I want more? Do I want less of them? And at the same time, they can come and also decrease each group. The volume of each group is all up to them. So I've given them a simple bass format that they can work with. I really love these ME1s. I wish you could take all 48 channels because it's only 40. and I just sent the most important things. Now, one of the things, because I have my keys going in a stereo format, all our keyboards actually goes in a stereo format. What I had to do is I had to take the left side of the keys and pan them to the right so that it can kind of give it some sort of center format. For example, let me show you right here. I don't know if this is going to show, but it's flickering too much. But yeah, so and then pan it to the right, because I don't want to take too much spaces and get the keys left and right, and I don't have the amount of spaces on my board to actually go to a group for the keys and then send all of that. I have to kind of utilize what I have. This is a very, very large church, and they use a lot of microphones in this church. The other thing I did, this was the old rack and it was kind of wobbling, was actually change it to this new rack, so we can easily move it around. It has tires, it's much stronger. That's one of the upgrades that was done here. Things are going to be cleaned up a little bit, guys, not worry. And so that's not all we have to do with sound. Actually had some more things to do with sound. Now, this church actually has these speakers at the back here, which I set up as a matrix for like a little bit of an overflow. Now, this was in this former VRX system that they had. They had them on a 1x4, like each one on each array before it was changed, before I changed this. And before, it wasn't loud enough when this place gets filled up. So that's why they were using this. Now, I was advised to take this down, but I'm actually not going to take it down because there are times when this place is going to be filled that I'm going to need these speakers. Now, they are set up as a matrix, as an overflow. There are those certain times I'm going to need these speakers, and I don't think I want to take them off. So we have been using this Avantis system for a little bit of a while now. Welcome back, by the way. I hope my microphone is not in the view. Yes. So for 3 years, I actually introduced them to this Avantis system, and it has been a very, very wonderful system so far. But we found out fader issues, the same issues that a lot of people have been complaining about. We had the same issues, and that's why I decided to go for the Avantis Solo while this is going to go out for repairs. The reason also for that is because this church also has outdoor activities. They have an outdoor concert coming up, which I'm inviting you guys to on August 24th, right here in the park in Bronx, Prison the Park. And the Solo was going to also work. It's going to be an easier system, you know. We wanted to go for the SQ7, but unfortunately, we could not get an SQ7 on time. I don't know what's going on with AllenandHeath and SQ7s. Unfortunately, there's no SQ7, but we got this Solo, and this Solo was just the same 64 inputs that are actually going directly from the GX4816 and the DX168. So I thought it was going to be a plug-and-play system. Like, literally, I just take the show file in, put it in the Avantis Solo, and everything's going to work very, very smoothly. To my surprise, that was not the case, because I thought there was going to be a fader bank system like you have in the Avantis Director, that you can go from the input section to your output section just by clicking that fader bank. No. No. Let me show you. While we wait for the Avantis to boot up, you turn it on. Usually, this is what you see. Very wonderful mixer, very beautiful mixer. This mixer is all connected by Dante. It has a Dante 64x64 card right at the back, which I've transferred from this to this. Okay, and how I set it up right here in the Avantis, these are all my inputs right here, and then right here I have all my outputs. So I have my DCAs, I have my monitors, I have my groups and my effects. Very easy setup I have here. I'm not using Audix 2. Very simple. Right here I set up my mute groups. You could see right here I have my lapels, my hosts, my leads, my background vocals, my band, my drums. And right here I have my powerful clear, DCA spiel. I barely use DCA spills, but right here. And my tap tempo, my drama mute, which is like drama mics, which are lapel microphones, and my scenes, like for next and go for my scenes. You can see everything here. Now, I thought that the Avantis Solo would be almost the same thing, even if it's small, that I can easily, with a flip of a button, go from the output section, the input section, sorry, to the output section. All right. To my dismay, it wasn't that. I spent a lot of time looking. For real, I spent a lot of time looking for how to go to a fader bank, how to flip a fader bank, to go from an input to an output section. It wasn't the same. I didn't find anything. I searched and searched and searched. I went into IO setup. I spent a lot of time right here in the setup section, in the config section. I spent a lot of time. I spent in control, strip assign, looking for how am I gonna go from my input section to the output section by fader banks. And I went online and I checked discussions, and it was nope. You cannot do that. There's nothing like that. And they started talking something about using scenes, and then save scenes. I don't have a time for that. I have volunteers that are here that I would not be here all the time. And they would not be able to understand, even if I set it and go, it's going to be much of a hassle. I had to come up with something. And that's where I'm using DCA spills. I barely use my DCA spills right here. But I had to really activate it right here, and that's what I'm using here. I'm so disappointed that I cannot assign a fader bank flip to one of the soft buttons, which I really wanted to do. What's the purpose of having all the soft buttons? What's the purpose of having this if I cannot easily flip from my inputs, as you have here, to my output section, even if this is the bud? Okay, so what I had to do is come up with DCA spills. And actually, the same way I had my DCAs here, I had to edit them. Now you can see all my members of my DCAs. I had to edit them to keep them much more simple, and so that I can easily mix. Now I barely mix. When I mix, I barely mix from my input section. I actually majorly mix from my DCA sections. Small tweaks on my input sections, but right here I make some of my DCA sections. So right now I have to use DCA spills. So I have my DCA spill automatically activated, which I don't think I'm ever going to turn off. Right now, I don't think I'm ever going to turn off my DCA spills, but you see that I have it right. I have my tap temp actually set up here. I have my DCA spills, and I have all these mute groups set up here, which I had to group a lot. Now here I had all the evaluation of having 6 mute groups here. I had 1 here. I can't have that here. I actually had to do a lot and mute and actually put them in a very simple format. I have my tap tempo here and my DCA spills here. And from here, this is where my DCA spills actually go into effect. This is my powerful clear. There's no problem. So let me give you an example. So in DCA spill number 1, when I engage this, you could see it then gives me everything I have on my lapels. I don't know if this is going to focus, but yeah. So everything I have, and I can easily get to this across here. You see, from my pastor headset, my pastor handheld, all of this, I can easily get. So if I go to this is my second DCA spill, you could see what's here. These are my lead microphones. These are my leads. If I go to my third one, I have my background vocals. Now, the majorly purpose of me using my DCA spill because I want to be able to, I mix into groups before I go out. So I majorly mix into groups. That's what I do. That's where you see my group button here. So I have my vocal dry. I have vocal dry, vocal wet, speaker group, which is usually I make the speaker group, make sure they're a little bit higher than the vocal group, drum dry, drum wet for my parallel compression. Now, I know that we have the ability to do directly from your board. I know that we have the ability to actually, sorry, I can see that right here, maybe because I do not have no inputs. Yes. Okay. I know I have the ability right here to use a parallel path right here, but I'm coming from old school and parallel compression kind of makes it a bit much easier. I'm still learning more about this board, by the way, learning much more. We learn every day. So any suggestion, any ideas on actually making this clean, I'm very much welcome to it. So this is what I did here. 1 second. So I have my DCL space. So I mix into groups, as I was talking about right here. So I want to be able to easily access those groups when I'm mixing. And that's why I really wanted this. So on my DCL spill right here, I think this is where I have my group section. Good, perfect. This is where I then have my group section, and I'm able to do as much as I want on my group section. And right here, I have my effect returns because I don't have any space anymore. Now, if you look here, I have this, and I want to be able to reach all my inputs before I start talking about outputs. And when you look here, you see my effect sends, my monitors, which I have only 3 monitors just on the stage, and then my mains. Now, before I lock my mains right here on my master strips right here. Now, no matter what I do, when I move to any output section, I have my master strips locked here, which is my main left and right, my subs, my overflow, which are these speakers hanging up there. And I don't know if you can see them, which I showed you before. Those speakers hanging up there. And then my stream, whatever is going to my stream. Now, I do not have a separate bus for stream. No, I mix into groups, and then I send those groups into my stream. That's what I do. It has a much cleaner sound for me, and my vocals, everything sound fat. My drums sound fat, instead of me having a separate mix for into stream. Why? Because I'm not usually here all the time, and volunteers try to, meddle up some things, raise things up and down and whatever in the stream, and then sometimes the stream sounds more different. Now, I'm going to be going back to my broadcast mix for my Dante, which is going to send all 64 channels to the audio room and have my broadcast mix now. So I'm able to then reach, just by pressing this button with my DCA space, I'm able to reach my effect returns. I'm able to reach my groups very, very easily while mixing wherever I am. I'm hoping it's not much to hope right now. I'm really, really hoping that Alan and Heath got the software updates that we can just assign. I have these 2 left out for that hope, these 2 soft keys left out, hoping that they can, engage a button and I can flip to the output section. I know that it's really, really possible. I love the Avantis. I really love it, and I think it's the best mixers for churches right now at this price point. I don't think churches should go for anything less than that. When they have the budget to go for the Avantis, it's going to do you way, way much good. Sounds cleaner, sounds pure, sounds very natural, and I love it because many people cannot also afford the D Live. So, yes. Now, I am focusing on the video aspect. And one of the most important video aspects is this. This is the Blackmagic Studio Camera 4K Plus G2, which I just installed. I'm still working on it. And right here, I have a Tamron 70-200 F. Is that an F1.6? Yes. I installed all of this right here yesterday. I'm still working on it, so it's still not yet. You could see very beautiful camera. Now, I was so shocked. I was thinking that the Blackmagic zoom demand was going to work for it, but to my dismay and to my surprise, no, it doesn't. But the focus demand definitely works. So I'm going to get a mechanical zoom option for this camera here. I'm going to get a mechanical zoom. I'm going to install that. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. I have a PTZ to install right here, which I'm going to install right here. I'm working on that today. And the drums, right in the drums, I'm going to have a drum camera right in the drum section. And then I'm going to have another camera right there for the musicians to kind of capture the angle of the musicians to the stage. Also, in the control at the back, I have installed the Blackmagic ATEM HD8. Still getting together, yes, the Blackmagic ATEM HD8. So I'm going to have about 6 cameras now running. They had 3 before, plus the new close-up camera, which is my Blackmagic camera 4K plus G2 with that wonderful Tamron lens, and the drum camera. So that's going to give me about 5 to 6 cameras, if I'm correct. 6 camera inputs on this HD8. Now I want to go for the 4K, but nobody streams in 4K right now. Even I don't know for the next how many we're going to start streaming in 4K, and all their cameras are not 4K. The only camera that is 4K right now is the Blackmagic 4K Plus G2. So I have this to work out. I'm not yet done with this. I'm still working on that. But yes, I just want to show you guys. So this is, we use vMix right here. This is the computer I use for broadcast mixing in Ableton, which has Dante connected to it. I'm still working on that. This vlog is getting long. But yeah, this is the work I have to do. Now, I have an issue with, I've had an issue, and if I solve it, I'm gonna let you guys know. I noticed that this Tamron list is vignetting. Now, I can't show you right now. You know what, let me turn it on so you guys can see for yourself. And if you have any suggestions in if you have any, you could see that vignetting happen right at the edges. Right at the edges, and I do not know what to do, especially because this is going to be a live camera. This is not going to be post-production camera that I can do whatever I want later in post-production. It's vignetting. There's this vignette right at the edges. I thought it was a camera hood. I took off the camera hood. It didn't solve the problem. So I am still trying to figure out what to do about that. If not, I don't know if it's going to be solved by switching to the Canon 70 to 200, 3 or something like that. I don't know. But you could see, I don't know if you could see the vignetting. Yeah, right there at the edges. I don't know what to do. If I'm able to solve it, I will talk about it in the video. If not, please give me your suggestions of what to do. So look at this bad boy. I'll be installing the CN3C or CN whatever. CRN300, yeah. I would have gone for the 500. Oof, that cost almost $5,000. But this is gonna do a good job, and that's gonna go right over there. So still working. I love church productions. I do church productions. Call me if you have any questions. I was actually trying to use, I wanted to use my DJI man for this video, but man, it's giving me a lot of headache, which I do not have a time for right now. Hey guys, so it's 7 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's been a week of changing the audio, changing the speakers, changing the rack, doing a lot of changes, doing a lot of audiovisual changes, production changes right here at Grace International Church right here in the Bronx. And the big Avantis is finally out. I've done all the changes I need to do. Sound check happened today. I have not fully tweaked because not all the musicians came today and not all the singers came today for sound check, but expecting it to be a smooth ride on Sunday morning. Sunday, I'm still gonna do some sort of sound check still by 8 o'clock in the morning before service starts to kind of, tighten things up. But sound check is done. Just cleaning up now, and I think the last thing I was talking to you guys about was an installation of the PTZ. So I have finally gotten it up. That's it right there. This is the Canon CRN300. Very beautiful. I love the image. I just want to go show you guys the image. One sec. It's a very, very beautiful. Right there, PTZ. I love it. I love it so much. I wish I could actually do a lot. I think the CRN 500 can do much more, but I love it. I have not yet attached the Ethernet. You can see that the Ethernet cord is still hanging because I had a lot to do today, including sound check, which kind of took a lot of time, and then running the cables in the ceiling. But yeah, it's finally installed. It's done. The camera is done. The issue with the vignetting, I noticed from the lens vignetting, from what I was reading from a lot of people, was that you have to, in post-production, they do a lot of things in post-production. So I know that I'm using a 4K sensor right here in this 4K Plus G2. So all I just did was just zoom it in a little bit in vMix, which is the streaming software we use here, and the vignetting was totally gone. So let me show you what it looks like. Let me just turn this on. So right now you could see you could see the lens vignetting right at the corners right there. So when we go into, you would see it right there. You see that lens vignetting right there at the corners. But I was able to fix that right here in vMix. I don't think you can see it in vMix. So it's gone, completely gone in vMix. All I just had to do was I just zoomed in slightly in vMix to take away the vignette. It's not going to affect no picture quality in any way, because this is a very, very good sensor, right, in that Tamron 70 to 200. I think it's f2.8 or f1.6. I keep making a mistake, but I think it's f1.6. I can't remember. But yes, it's a very, very wonderful sensor in the 4K plus G2, and zooming in, you don't really see any much, how do I say, difference. And I just added some mastering plugin into vMix here for the master. You could see right here just some slight changes, just a slight mastering plugin into the live stream audio output. So it's coming out from the Avantis. It's going to come in here, and there's slight, sweet, simple master plugin I have right here. Nothing really. I haven't added the drum camera yet. I haven't added the musician camera yet. I'm completely tired. I'm going to do that some other time and probably show you guys. But it's been a week of a lot of tweaking, a lot of fixes. I have 2 more cameras that are actually there. So it's going to be 6 cameras in total. That's why you see I've set this up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What the first thing I did was, once I installed this, I updated it. And oh yeah, the canon kind of, I forgot to update the canon. I had to do something to update the canon. No, I had to do something first in setting up the canon. So that was my mistake. I had to plug it into Ethernet, and then it kind of downloaded the software camera search, and then that's when it was finally able to give me an image. So that kind of took me a little bit of a while. But 6 cameras I'm gonna have here at this church. We're using the ATEM HD8, Blackmagic ATEM HD8. One thing I do not like about the Blackmagic stuff is the lack of an on and off switch. So you just have to unplug everything, and which is really, really not nice. But yes, so this is what you have. This is what we have. So it's been a week. Everything is done. Yeah, I had an incident today. So while I was trying to actually fix the drum microphones today, kind of because I was tweaking it and like looking for the best positions of both the snare, the toms, the kick in, the kick out. The cage fell on me. So you can see that the cage is kind of crooked. But anyway, we actually have a very better cage coming. It's going to be an installed cage. We still have that coming. But I just had to patch it up because I'm tired, man. So yeah, the cage actually did fall. The cage fell on me. Oh God, that's why you see it looking a little bit crooked right now. But I was able to just, you have to make sure you get your positioning of your microphones right. So during sound check, I listened. I had what I was looking for. When they had gone, I just had to make some slight changes. Nothing new, everything the same. The conga during sound check sounded so amazing with these. These microphones are God sent. These microphones are God sent for the congas. They sound really, really amazing, and I love them. So guys, it has been a whole week of changes. The only thing I added to the musicians was a talkback mic from my end, the engineer's talkback mic. Everything which I talked about earlier remained the same after sound check. I have to teach the musicians how to use this new ME1s, because even the drummer was like, what exactly are you doing? So I was not yet able to mic the crowd mics. You could see them hanging over there. I tried, man. I'm too tired to pass this wire through the ceiling right there, through the roof, but it was just giving me a lot of headaches. So I need help with somebody else, Sydney. He's going to help me when we are running the cameras for the when we run the cables for the drum cage camera and the musician camera. So we're going to do that at once. I think it's a 2-person job. I tried everything I could to kind of pass this thing with my fish line, but it just didn't work. So those are the Audio Technicas. You could see them right there. They're still not yet connected. The musicians especially, they really need them because they complain that they feel isolated, and also for the live stream. So I look really, really rough, and I look so dirty because I've been working in the ceiling all day today trying to get these wires run, and it's been so crazy. I mean, I just want to go home. I want to shower and just sleep. It's like, look, the time. It's 7 o'clock. You could see. I don't know if you could see. This is 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I've been in church. So, guys, any suggestions that you have, give it to me. Any comments you have, leave it right there in the comment section. Anything that you think I should improve, we're all learning. This is a learning process. Anything that you think I should improve, sorry, yes, I'm still cleaning up, so I'm still packing a lot of this stuff out. I still have some work to do for the outdoor. I think I'm going to vlog the outdoor concert because it's a whole new setup that the church is going to have for the outdoor concert, their own thing. They don't want to rent anything, so something really, really, really small right here in the Bronx. I'm going to vlog that. So if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions to me, please leave it right there in the comment section. Like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it, or visit me on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow me, give me suggestions. I'm a church productions director, same as a lot of people, so a lot of suggestions will go along with many of the things I'm doing right here. If you have any questions, leave them to me. Write them right there, and I'll try my best to reply. It's been an absolutely pleasure, you guys watching this video. I look really rough, filled with dust. Oh my God, I just saw a hole I haven't closed. Oh God, look at that. Oh God, oh. I was thinking I was gonna go sleep, guys. I was thinking I was gonna go sleep, but I look really rough. I want to go bathe. I want to go sleep. I'll close that hole right now, and then, yeah, I'm going to go home and sleep all day on Saturday, and then be here again 8 o'clock on Sunday to do sound check for musicians that did not come and singers that did not come. It's the life of a sound engineer, and then for service. It's been a pleasure, guys. See you guys in the next video. Peace.